所以接下来呢，我们这位博士呢是燕翔教授，他要和我们他是清华大学建筑学院声学实验室的主任，他也是硅藻涂料吸音降噪领域研究著名的专家。我们掌声欢迎我们的燕翔教授。
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My topic is the sound absorption and noise reduction of the diatomite coating, or what we can say the Diatomaceous earth coating. I'm come from Tsinghua University, Beijing. My major is acoustics, mainly for the noise reduction and the sound environment indoor. The content will be divided for 5 parts. The first part is the sound absorption mechanism, and the second is the noise reduction in the rooms. The third is about noise reduction will give our quiet environment, and the quiet environment will lead to the good health. The fourth part is not only the quiet environment for the good sleep, but also for the work efficiency. We stay focused in the quiet. The fifth part is the quality of the absorption. The high quality of the diatomite coating makes high absorption. The first part, we'll talk about the mechanism of the sound absorption. Most material makes the sound absorption is from the porous. The porous, we can call it equals to absorptive. Diatomite coatings appears not only environmentally friendly, beautiful, but also has sound absorptions. This is because the fossil remains of the diatoms are porous. Because there are a lot of little holes, if we use the microscope to expand the diatomite, we can see there's a lot of holes in it. And these holes absorb the sound. The sound absorption is not because of the irregular, it's because of the porous. For the hard materials, they will reflect the sound, even if the irregular surface cannot absorb the sound. Porous material, we can see the porous material, there's a lot of holes in it, micro holes in it, and the sound can travel very deep in the material. The mechanism of the sound absorption. The mechanism of the sound absorption is the friction of the air particles to the solid particles. When the sound is incident, the sound will enter the inside of the material along the poles. It will go very deep in the material. You can see this is a sound wave, and this is an expanded picture of the coating. The little dots is the air particles, and this is the sound wave. When the sound wave incident, the air particles will vibrate, and the vibration between the particles of the air and the diatomite, they can consumption the energy, the sound energy. Then the sound will be decreased. We call it sound absorption. the sound absorption will reduce the noise in the rooms. So we can say absorptive material equals to quiet. In the rooms, people hear the sound which contains both direct sound and the reflecting sound, such as reflected by the walls and the ceilings. Because of the sound travels very fast, so people cannot distinguish which sound comes from the directly and which sound comes from the reflect. But the reflect sound maybe make a lot of noisy to our sound environment. Mostly reflect from the ceiling or from the walls. Hard surface make intense sound reflecting, result in more noise than that of applying diamide acoustic coating. In the rooms, this is the sound source. It will direct sound to our ear and some reflect sound to our ear too. If we apply some sound absorption materials on the ceiling or on the walls, they will absorb the reflect sound and then reduce the noise in the rooms. This is the animator of the noise in the room, and the moving particles means the sound. When the sound source here imitate the sound in the rooms, they like a lot of particles go to the rooms. In order to reduce the noise of the reflect sound, in the lower picture, in the ceiling, there's the sound absorption material. So we can see the sound reflect will eliminate, or we can see reduce the sound reflect from the ceiling. For keeping quiet, indoor surface should be designed to apply sound absorbing materials. Compared to the hard surface, the sound absorption treatment on ceiling and walls will reduce 5 decibels noise in dwellings. If we apply the ceiling or the walls for the sound absorption material, we can get 5 decibels reduce of the sound of the noise in the dwellings. And in office, because office have more large room, we can get 10 decibels sound or the noise reduced in the office. From the view of the medical health, more 5 decibels of silence at night means 20% of deep sleep. And 10 decibels of silence during the day means 10% increasing in productivity. Professor Yoi mentioned that people indoor for 90% of his whole life. And in the 90%, there are about 20 or 40% of in the night for sleep. So the sleep quality is very important to our health. The noise will disturb our sleep. And in the daytime, maybe half time of our life, we will work in the daytime in the office. The noise of the office will distract our attention and make our lower efficiency of the work. Follows is a more detailed explanation. The third part, we will discuss about the quiet sleep and the health. The sound absorption makes the quiet sleep, and the quiet sleep make our health. So we can say quiet equals to good sleep, and then equals to health. Our sleep is very strange. Although we are in sleep, we may have no sense of other things, but the ear cannot start up. The ear cannot be off. So for the medical research, the noise is the main external factor to affect sleep. Maybe 90%, over 90% of the arousal, maybe by the sound. During the sleep, the auditory nerve pathway is not blocked, and the nerve conduction is still unimpeded. This because the cortex perception are suppressed. When you sleep, you can feel nothing, but you still hear. The sound will travel from the nerve to your brain. Although we cannot perceive the sound, but in our brain, the sound will affect us. The study found the noise caused increased arousal, decreased sleep length, caused sleep fragmentation, and decreased the deep sleep. Especially the deep sleep is very important for our health. Deep sleep deprivation can cause a decline in immunity, maybe cause accelerate aging and memory loss, and the Alzheimer's disease. The Alzheimer's disease is a very serious senile disease, most for the old people. For the people, if they less of the deep sleep, the health will get worse. In our light sleep, there are several cycles, about maybe 4 to 5 cycles. And our sleep, the cycles is from the light sleep to the deep sleep. And then we will deep sleep for maybe 10 to 12 minutes. And then we'll back to the light sleep. This is a cycle of the sleep. And then another cycle will appear. We will from the light sleep gradually to the deep sleep. The most important is the deep sleep. The total deep sleep of our sleep in one night is about 1 hour to 2 hours. Maybe for the younger people, they will get 1.5 hours and 2 hours of the light sleep. Totally the deep sleep. But for the elder people, maybe only 1 hour or less 1 hour of the deep sleep. If it's quiet with less noise of the environment, the deep sleep will not be disturbed. But with the noise, the deep sleep will disturbed at some extent. The detailed research found that in the cycle of the sleep, in each cycle of the sleep, at the beginning of the sleep, the sensitivity to the external stimuli is lowest. But with the sleep progressed, the stimulation sensitivity increased. If there's noise, maybe the noise will not affect the sleep beginning, but it will affect the end of the deep sleep. Because the tail at the end of the sleep cycle is the most sensitive, because we will end of our deep sleep and then go to the light sleep, and then maybe aroused. The more noise will make people the less or the shorten of the deep sleep. Each cycle of the sleep, the deep sleep will shorten. The total deep sleep will shorten. This is the mechanism of the noise to affect our deep sleep and then affect our health. We can get the conclusion. Noise causes an early end of each deep sleep due to the increasing sensitivity of our brain, of our body. Tests revealed that for the quantity, for each decibel reduction of noise, deep sleep will increase by 4%. This is very important. If we got the noise reduced about 5 decibels in the night, we will get more, about 20% of deep sleep. Not only the noise affect our sleep, but also it will affect our work efficiency in the daytime. Because when we work, we need focused. In the quiet, we can stay more focused. So we can say quiet equals to focus and equals to efficiency. Maybe we can start our eyes. Maybe we can start up our mouth, but we cannot start our ears. Although you may not pay attention to some sound, but actually the sound will reach you, and the sound will affect you, and the sound will make you some reaction in your body. The noise stressors goes into air and then go to the hypothalamus to make the pituitary gland to release some hormones, and this cannot control by our bodies. So if you hear some pulse or some immediate sound, you cannot help to turn your head to pay attention to attention it. This is the psychological activation due to the noise. So more noise will distract our reaction, especially in the work. People need to stay focused when they think. Noise can distract people and reduce the work efficiency. Studies have shown that if we reduce noise by 10 decibels, the work efficiency will increase by 10%. Reducing the noise save time and increase profit. For a workplace, if there are 10 decibels arising or 10 decibels increasing, maybe 10% of the work efficiency will reduce. That means if you hire 10 people in one office, if the noise goes up 10 decibels, 1 people was wasted because the noise will distract his attention. But the diamide coatings, sometimes we found it's not very effective to the sound absorption. What's the reason? Because we need the quality to get the absorption, especially the high quality for the high absorptions. Because high quality diamide or higher quality diatomaceous earths, they have plenty of porous and get high absorptions. The sound absorption performance of the diatomite coating is determined by the amount of porosity. Less diatomite content or more plaster will fill in the holes, make less sound absorption. We can see the three picture. This is the good holes and good porous of the diatomite coatings. And this more plaster. Some little holes, some small holes will be filled. The sound absorption will reduce. And this the more plaster to reduce all the holes. And this the curve of the sound absorption of the diatomite coatings. We can see more diatomite, the more assumptions. Not only for the sound porosity, another factor will affect the sound absorption. That is the thickness and the air cavity. Another factor that affects the sound absorption effect is the application of the paint. For good acoustics, diatomite coating need certain thickness, such as 5 or 10 millimeters. This is the thickness. If there is no thickness, the holes will be laced, will be decreased. So the sound absorption will decrease. It is best to have a certain air layer back cavity under the coating. It's good air cavity back the coating. We can apply this layer of the air cavity to use a layer of mesh or some other porous substrate panels. But sometimes we will less concern of the acoustic properties. So maybe the thickness is not enough, and there's no air cavity behind the painting. And then the conclusion. Why people need diatomous decoration? It's flexible design, it's elegant, it's colorful, it's non-combustible fire, it's water durable, it's environmental non-toxic, it's high sound absorption, and it's easy to put on. Most important is it's natural and health. Thanks. Thanks for your attention. Okay.
Thank you very much, Professor Yan Xiang.